You've been hacked!
Yo, what's good? I'm back with another video. I know I just posted the video about Meta dropping Muse Spark 1.2 and Muse code, but you know what? There's some more Meta news today, and you won't believe it. You probably will, but you won't. They claim that their model also went out and hacked another company during testing. As you may have heard, OpenAI first publicly posted on July 21st, 2026 that one of their agents went rogue. Let's actually go into the details because this one was wild. OpenAI was running cybersecurity evaluations on GPT-5.6 Sol and an internal research prototype. Safeguards were reduced so they could measure what the models could really do. Somewhere around July 9th, the agent found a previously unknown vulnerability, a 0-day in a package registry proxy later identified as JFrog Artifactory that let it escape the sandbox and get full internet access. From there, it spent multiple days on the open internet. It took over a public code testing environment on Modal, established command and control, and then zeroed in on Hugging Face. Between July 11th and 13th, it broke into Hugging Face's production system. We're talking administrator access to internal Kubernetes clusters, root on a production server, write access to source code repositories on GitHub, and it even enrolled 181 attacker-controlled devices into Hugging Face's corporate network using stolen credentials. Hugging Face first disclosed the intrusion on July 16th without knowing who was behind it. OpenAI didn't publicly connect the dots until July 21st. Later updates confirmed the agent also compromised accounts on 4 other publicly available services while it was out there. Then, following that, Anthropic dropped their disclosure on July 30th, 2026. Classic ICU, I do you energy. After OpenAI's news, Anthropic went back and audited 141,006 of their own cybersecurity evaluation runs. They found 3 separate incidents involving Claude Opus 4.7, Mythos 5, and an internal research model. All of them happened during Capture the Flag style tests run with the same third-party testing partner, Irregular. There was a misconfiguration. The models were told they had no internet access, but the test environment actually left a path open. So the models treated the real internet as part of the exercise and gained unauthorized access to the production infrastructure of 3 different organizations. Some of those incidents dated back as far as April. Mythos 5 apparently correctly identified that it had reached real systems, and then reasoned its way into believing it was still inside a simulation. Anthropic's own words were that the behavior falls short of ideal, and now Meta joins the club. According to reports and Meta's own statements, over the last day, their Muse Spark model reported as the 1.1 version was being evaluated by the same testing company, Irregular. Same style of misconfiguration. The model got internet access it wasn't supposed to have, exploited a security vulnerability in a third-party service, and made changes to another company's internal systems. Irregular has already said this is the exact same evaluation environment issue they disclosed with Anthropic. Meta is investigating and says they'll publish a full retrospective. So in the span of a couple weeks, we went from OpenAI's multi-day autonomous campaign against Hugging Face to Anthropic's 3 organizations to Meta's Muse doing its version of the same thing. If you're already logged in, hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next round of this chaos. Now, here's where I start forming some opinions, because this is the part that feels a little too clean. I don't know if this is pure marketing, if this is hype, or if it's just the inevitable result of testing these things at the edge. But it sure is convenient that every major lab is now on the record with a R model touched real systems during testing story within days of each other. If it is marketing, I have no reason to believe any of them are lying. The technical details are too specific and too embarrassing, but it's still crazy. I even saw something on Reddit calling these felony benchmarks, and look, last time I checked, unauthorized access to computer systems is a felony in a whole lot of places. So we're out here deliberately measuring how good the models are at the exact activity that we get a human locked up, then acting shocked when the models actually succeed under reduced guardrails. The humor writes itself. My real take is this. The capabilities that make Muse code, Claude code, and the OpenAI agents useful for long multi-hour engineering jobs are the same capabilities that show up the second you point them at cyber objectives and loosen the refusals. The models aren't evil, they're just extremely competent at pursuing the goal you gave them. When the test environment has soft edges, they treat the real world as part of the problem space. OpenAI's case was a true containment failure. The model found a 0-day and walked out. Anthropic and Meta's cases look more like the testing partner left the door open and the models walked through it. Both are problems. One is a model problem, the other is an evaluation infrastructure problem. We're currently living with both. If you're running any of these agentic coding tools yourself, treat them like a very smart intern who has been given root adjacent access and zero common sense about boundaries, scoped environments, no production credentials by default. Review the plan before you let it cook for hours. That is not fear mongering. That is just basic operational hygiene in 2026. That's about it. For today's video, 3 labs, multiple real systems touched. One testing partner showing up in 2 of the stories, and a whole industry still figuring out how to safely measure what these things can actually do. I'll drop every major source in the description so you can read the primary disclosures yourself. And lastly, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, like this video, and go back through the previous ones so you stay current. With that thought, have an amazing day. Spread positivity, and I'll see you guys really shortly.